Hey Richmond, it's almost time to play ball at the brand new CarMax Park. And not just for the Flying Squirrels, but for VCU as well. This week on the Real Richmond podcast, Henrico hits reset on one of the region's biggest development projects. Chesterfield quietly removes a major barrier to growth with nearly $800 million in healthcare expansion. Plus, what the latest real estate market numbers are really telling us here locally, because prices, speed, and demand are all shifting at the same time. And we'll get into why AI-generated local news might be giving you information, but not insight. And yeah, somehow an emu named Possum got loose in Powhatan. Let's get into it. So I'm John Tiller. I'm a Greater Richmond insider and local realtor here for over 25 years, and I want to welcome you to the show. The Richmond region, it's growing, and it's evolving, and it's building, and we're creating. And the more that you understand what's happening here, the more that you'll appreciate it the way that we do. Each week, we break down what's happening, the stories that are shaping our region. We spotlight people and places making an impact, and we take a closer look at neighborhoods, businesses, and trends influencing how we live, work, and build right here in Richmond. So whether you already call Richmond home or you're thinking about it, you're in the right place. This is Real Richmond. Let's get started like we always do with the Richmond Rundown. Baseball fans, the deadlock is gone. In a massive March breakthrough, the deal is finally signed. We've talked earlier about how there was some conflict between VCU and the stadium management and the owners of the Flying Squirrels. But both the Squirrels and the Rams are officially now moving into CarMax Park. The secret sauce? VCU unlocked the whole deal by selling the sports backers land to the city for $25 million. That move didn't just fund a stadium, it unlocked the entire Diamond District. Now this trade secures VCU a 30-year lease and a pro-level dedicated clubhouse inside CarMax Park. No more sharing, the Rams finally have a home built for the powerhouse that they are and want to be. Now, the $117 million CarMax Park is a total win-win. We get professional Flying Squirrels baseball and high-stakes VCU A10 matchups under the same lights. With that land sale fueling a new 42-acre athletic village next door, Richmond is transforming from a parking lot into a world-class sports destination. The drama's over, and the inaugural opening day at CarMax Park is set for April 7th. Whether you're shouting "Go Nuts" or "Go Rams," Richmond just hit a grand slam. 30 years, 2 teams, 1 city. Let's play ball. For you Greater Richmond OGs, you might remember the Best Products headquarters at Parham and 95. Henrico County is officially moving forward with demolishing the old buildings there, clearing the way for a reset of what you might remember being called the Green City Project. Green City was supposed to be a $2.3 billion with a B dollar game changer for Henrico County, a 17,000 seat arena, 2,000 plus homes, and a full live, work, and play district right off of I-95. But the project, well, it stalled. Deadlines were missed, momentum faded, and now the county is stepping in, demolishing the site and resetting the plan. Here's the key. It's not a cancellation of the project. When a county moves in like this, it's because the location is too valuable to sit idle. The vision's still there, but the next phase might look very different. Stay tuned. Here's another big piece of information, but from the other side of the river in Chesterfield County. Let's talk about what actually might be the most long-term growth story in the region right now. The state has approved major healthcare expansion totaling close to $800 million, and it's not just one project. It's multiple systems expanding at the same time. Here's where that investment's going. Number one is VCU Health is developing a new hospital campus in the Spring Line at District 60 area along Midlothian Turnpike near Chippenham. Bon Secours is expanding in the Swift Creek Midlothian corridor down 360, and HCA Healthcare is adding capacity tied to their Johnston Willis and Chippenham campuses along the Chippenham corridor. So it's not one location, it's a network of healthcare expansion across Midlothian, Swift Creek, and Chippenham. But here's the takeaway. One of the biggest constraints on growth in the Richmond area, healthy, smart growth, is healthcare access. It's being addressed now all at once, and that's going to support the next wave of development across Chesterfield. For it or against it, this is how we get more affordable housing, is better infrastructure. Now, another piece of infrastructure that's super exciting is what's happening over at RIC. There's a massive TSA expansion that we talked about a while ago. In fact, a lot of you got a little bit hyped up about the fact that they were spending $200 million on an expansion, but the airport just unveiled a new $253 million, that's $250 million master plan to change how we all fly forever. The headline, we're going global. Many of you noticed, hey, it would be nice if Richmond International Airport actually had more international flights. And as of this April, Richmond's officially courting Aer Lingus for a nonstop flight to Dublin, Ireland. If it lands, you'll be in Ireland without ever leaving the 804. In the meantime, the Caribbean, well, that's already here. This March, RIC launched its first ever nonstop to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Salsa music at gate A4, that's the new pre-flight vibe. To handle the heat, RIC is adding 100,000 square feet and a single 14-lane security checkpoint that we talked about earlier. No more split concourse guessing, just one line and a brand new atrium of RVA eats and shops. From San Juan to potentially Shannon, Ireland, RIC is no longer a regional stop. It's a global gateway. So the question left is just, where are you going to head first? All right, so this is my favorite segment. We call it, Come On, Bruh. This is where we look at news and information around Richmond that makes us do a double take. All right, here's the first one. We've got a bunch of AI-generated local news sites popping up covering Henrico and Chesterfield. Now, on the surface, you might think, okay, more information, that's great. But here's the truth. We're drowning in information, and we're starving for wisdom. Some of this reporting, it is being done without boots on the ground. In fact, one case involves coverage being run from outside the country. Now, listen, real estate and local news, well, it's just that. It's local, hyper-local even. And you can't AI your way into understanding street-by-street value differences, zoning nuance, or neighborhood trends. So the question becomes, if the information's easy, but the insight is missing, who are you actually trusting? Come on, bruh. Let's level up to actual insight around Richmond. And then here's one of my favorites from the book of If It Can Happen, It'll Happen in Powhatan, which I can say because I live here. Powhatan Sheriff's Office Animal Control had to wrangle a loose emu. Yes, an emu named Possum. Now, here's the best part. Corporal Baggett, yep, that's their real name, created a mobile fence using crime scene tape to guide this bird back into a trailer. Way to go, Corporal. Honestly, that's elite problem solving. Shout out to Sheriff Nunley and the Powhatan County Sheriff's Office for sharing that one on your social media, because it's only in Powhatan that you can get your morning interrupted by a flightless bird named Possum. That's our Powhatan. Come on, bro. All right, next segment is our Lux listing of the week. And this week, it's the kind of property that checks boxes that a lot of buyers can't find in one place. This is over at 2121 Jockey Ridge Road in Goochland, and it just hit the market for $2 million. It's sitting on 3 private acres, and it's over 7,200 square feet with some additional unfinished basement square footage. And here's where it gets interesting. That basement, it's a walkout basement that's already framed out. So you're not just buying the finished space, you're buying future value that's already planned. It's built by a great local builder here, and it shows 10-foot ceilings 8-foot doors, a Thermador 48-inch range for you gourmet kitchen chefs, built-in refrigeration, and 2 dishwashers. We've also got a Sonos audio system, Cat 6 wiring, and a vaulted screen porch with a fireplace and radiant heaters. This home, it's designed for how people actually live when they want to live in luxury. Now, zoom out. The location is amazing, too. It sits inside a 650-acre preservation community called Breeze Hill. That privacy, it's protected, and that land is not getting developed around you, and you're still about 15, maybe 20 minutes to Short Pump. All in one property. Hey, shout out to the listing agent on this property, my good friend Boondog, Mike Boone of Boone Residential. Thanks a lot for sharing this with us, Mike. And if you want details on this or a private showing, just DM Breeze and we'll get you into that property. All right, so it's time for our Ask JT segment. This is where I try to take the questions that I've been asked throughout the week and give an answer that I think other people might be asking. And the one I get every single week, mostly probably close to every single day, if not every day, is, hey, John, how's the market? Well, the March 2026 data, it's just in. And it's not just what the headlines are saying. This is different. The average home price actually is now about $469,000. 5 years ago, the average price in Greater Richmond, $326,000. That's a gain of roughly $143,000 or 44% increase. That's not subtle appreciation. That's a market shift. And even after this slow time, prices are staying high. Now, let's talk about activity. We saw almost 2,100 home sales in March, which is the highest March that we've had since 2022. So in a few years. But here's what matters. March isn't even the peak season. Historically, it's April or May. That's the biggest month to pend contracts for the year. So if things feel active right now, if you're paying attention to the housing market, well, they are. And we're likely not even at the top yet. Now, as far as speed with the housing market, median days dropped from 25 days in February to just 13 days in March. That's a massive shift in just 1 month. What does that tell you? Well, it tells you buyers are moving faster now. Homes are getting absorbed quicker and competition's heating up again. So if you had to summarize this market in one sentence, prices are up, activity is up, speed is up, and that's momentum. So if you want to know what's happening in your neighborhood, just comment your neighborhood name and we'll break down the numbers for you. Because Greater Richmond as a whole and your specific street, well, those are two very different conversations. Now, if you're trying to figure out where you fit in this market, whether it's buying, selling, or just planning your next move, the best place to start is with clarity. Reach out and book a call with me, and we'll map out a strategy based on your goals. The best place to start is with a clear plan. You can book that private strategy session, and we'll walk through your home's value, the timing, and how to position it properly in today's market. So when you do decide to move, you're doing it with intention. Because it's not just about listing a home. It's about elevating your lifestyle. So that's it for this week's Real Richmond. And if you got value from this, I would love for you to subscribe, follow, share this with someone who might find it interesting also, whether you're making a move or not. We all want to stay on top of what's happening because the market's shifting and the people who understand it are the ones who benefit from it. I'm John Tiller, and I'll see you next time.